everyone, it's Lexi and today I'm going to be doing the 12 Days of Christmas book tag. This tag was originally created by Lizzie Loves Books and I will link their original video down below. So the first question is, a partridge in a pear tree, favorite standalone book. So for this one, I'm sure if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that it will be The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This was just an amazing book. It was definitely my favorite of the year. And it was just amazing. For those who don't know, it's a book that takes place during World War II. And it tells the perspective of two sisters in Nazi-occupied France and their different stories. And it was just an amazing, beautiful book. And it's a very different perspective than what you usually see for World War II novels that usually center on like the men's side. So it was kind of interesting to see kind of from like the women's perspective of the war and just all the efforts that the women took during the war. And it was just very interesting and definitely my favorite standalone book. Next question is Two Turtle Doves, fictional OTP/favorite ship. And for this one, I couldn't really think of any book character, like book couples that I like. And for this one, I'd have to say like Booth and Brennan from the Bones TV series. I don't know, they're just like my favorite couple. I just love them. I think like a lot, they have like a very healthy, realistic relationship, and I think that's why I like it so much, because like I don't know, like I did like a whole project on it about all that, and I think like when you compare it to like Grey's Anatomy, like they don't have like a very healthy relationship, and I don't know, like those are like my relationship goals, so I definitely would have to say Booth and Brennan. So question 3 is Three French Hens, favorite trilogy. For this one, I would have to say the Gemma Doyle trilogy by Libba Bray. I read these in high school, and they were like definitely one of my favorite series, like through that time and still now. And it's just it takes place in the 1800s, which is a very interesting time period. I find it very interesting to read, but it also deals with like kind of like a paranormal fantasy world, and it's just really interesting. Like I love Gemma. She's like kind of very headstrong, very know what she wants to do character, but she's really good, and I think, you know, she's a strong character that a lot of girls can relate to. Next question is Four Calling Birds, favorite fictional beast/creature. And for this one, I think I would have to say Dobby from the Harry Potter series. I don't know, I think he's just so cute, and I don't know, he's just really cute. Like in the movies, he's really cute as well with the big eyes. But yeah, I think, because I don't really think I've read very many books that deal with a lot of creatures or like characters like that. So yeah, definitely Dobby, and he's quite funny too, so yeah. So the next question is 5 golden rings. So show 5 golden books. And actually I don't have any like books that have like gold in them. The only one that I was able to find that had like some gold in it was like The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. And yeah, just because it has like some gold embroidery like on the sides and like the covers and like on the back as well. But this was the only book that I have that has like gold in it, so I guess I didn't do well on this question. So question 6 is 6 Geese a-Layin', Rotten Egg. What's your least favorite book? I think for me, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. Like I really hated this book. I hated the character of Kath. I felt like she was such a weak character, and like the decisions that she made were just, it drove me nuts. I don't think I've hated a character as much. Like I don't think I've ever hated a character more than I hate Kath. So I know like a lot of people love this. This is like a cult favorite on BookTube, but I just really cannot stand that book and that character Kath. Like, oh, don't get me started. So the next question is 7 Swans a-Swimming. Show a book with water on the cover. For this one, it doesn't really show water, but it shows like a lighthouse, so I guess that kind of counts. And it's The Light Between Oceans by Emil Steedman, and as you can see, it kind of has like the lighthouse on it with like the starry background. I chose this one just because like a big portion of this book takes place like they're on like this little island in the middle of the ocean, so I guess that does apply. But yeah, this is also a very good book, very good standalone book, and it's about a couple in Australia who are lighthouse keepers, and they're not able to have kids, but one day this boat washes upon their shores after a storm, and there's a man in there who has died, but then there's also a baby. So they take the baby as their own, and they tell everyone that it was their baby. So like then it deals with like the ethical issues of like that decision. But yeah, this is definitely a good standalone book as well, and I highly recommend this one. Question 8 is 8 Maids a-Milkin'. Which fictional food do you wish you could taste? I think for this one, I feel like a lot of people would have to say this, but like butterbeer. Like I have like this idea in my mind of what it tastes like, something like caramely. I don't know. I know you can taste it when you go to like the Harry Potter theme park, but I haven't had that, like, gone there yet, but I feel like it will be something I want to try. I don't know, it sounds very tempting. Question 9 is 9 ladies dancing. Favorite dance between 2 characters. So for this one, like, again, I couldn't think of like a book that featured 2 characters dancing, so for this one I went with like the TV show's option as well. So I would say like the dance between Booth and Brennan in the episode where Brennan goes back to her high school. I don't know, I thought that part was just really sweet, and you can kind of see their strong friendship. This is before they got together, but like their strong friendship up until that point and just all that. And then also I think I would have to say the dance between Tony and Ziva in the Berlin episode. I don't know, I just really like this episode. I feel like I really wish they did end up being together, but yeah, oh well. They didn't kill her off, so there's always a hope that she could come back so that Tiva could be together. But yeah, I think that's like one of my favorite dances from like I could think of between 2 characters. So question 10 is 10 Lords of Leaping. Favorite book to movie adaptation. And for this one, like, it was pretty hard because I did see Mockingjay Part 2 and I thought that was really good, and also Catching Fire is a very good book to movie adaptation, but I think I will have to go with like my favorite of all time, and that is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. That is like, I think, my favorite adaptation of the whole like franchise. I thought it was so good how everything tied in. I thought they did a good job at staying true to the books, but also being unique as well. And like some of the choices that they made, I can understand why they went with that option as opposed to the book, but I feel like it just was a very, very strong conclusion to the series, and it's definitely one that I will watch over and over and over again. So question 11 is 11 Pipers Piping. Favorite book to movie adaptation soundtrack. This one I wanted to be a little different than just saying Harry Potter again, so I went with like the Hunger Games soundtrack. I feel like the score, not necessarily like where they have artists sing, but I really enjoy the score and how they do use the same kind of like melodies throughout the whole series, and you kind of recognize it as well. And I just really like that soundtrack as well. It's like very unique, and I think like that style I always think of like the Hunger Games. So the last question is 12 Drummers Drumming. It's the end of the song. What's your favorite book ending? For this one, I know like this ending has been very controversial, and I know like I've read a lot of reviews where they have not liked the ending of it, but I felt like the ending was appropriate, and that is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I read this book I think like 2 summers ago, and it was really good, and I know the ending, like I was shocked about the ending. It's like you always want more, you feel like there needs to be more, but I feel like the ending was appropriate for how like bizarre these characters were and how like all this stuff, but I feel like the ending is appropriate because it does leave you hanging, and I feel like it stays true to the characters in the book as well, because the 2 characters are very double-sided, they contradict each other, and I feel like this ending is appropriate. Although I do wish there was a sequel to it, but I feel like this ending is very appropriate. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.